HarperCollins presents The Cottage on Pelican Bay by Brenda Jackson. Read by Butler. To my husband, Gerald Jackson Sr., all of me will forever love all of you. To my readers who fell in love with my Catalina Cove series, this one is for you. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Philippians chapter 3, verse 13. 1. 2 years and 9 months ago.
Vaughn, my flight made it to New Orleans, Zara said into the phone as the sound of thunder grew louder. But with the weather the way it is, I won't try driving to Catalina Cove tonight. I'll take a shuttle to one of the hotels at the airport and stay until morning.
Another clap of thunder was almost deafening. That's the best thing, Von Miller said to his sister. Although the hurricane isn't headed this way, it's causing enough wind and rain to make you think it is. I understand several trees are down on the main road from New Orleans to here anyway, he added. Catalina Cove was an hour drive from New Orleans.
My goodness, I just heard that the airport is closing and won't reopen until tomorrow sometime. I feel sorry for all those people who'd come to New Orleans for the summer music festival and can't get a flight to return home, she said.
Well, hopefully they won't be stranded for long. Things are supposed to be better tomorrow, Zara.
Let's hope so, she replied.
For Zara, this was an unplanned trip. She was coming home to lick her wounds, and Vaughn was the one person capable of cheering her up. When she'd called to let him know she was flying in, he hadn't asked why. He'd just said he would be there when she arrived. More than anything, she needed her big brother's hug. Home. She hadn't thought of Catalina Cove as home since she'd left for college over 10 years ago.
I'm hoping to see you tomorrow, Vaughn.
Same here. A short while later, after Zara had checked into her hotel room, she was ready to go to the hotel's bar for a drink to calm her stressed nerves. Although her flight had landed safely, the turbulence had been almost unbearable. When Zara entered the bar, not surprisingly, it was crowded with people, mostly stranded travelers who probably needed to drink to unwind as much as she did. She was about to turn and go back to her room and order room service when her gaze connected with a man sitting across the bar, and he was staring at her. She'd been the object of Ben's interest before. However, usually they weren't the object of hers, at least not with this intensity. He was absolutely gorgeous, and the way he was staring at her had certain parts of her inwardly quivering, while warm blood rushed through every vein in her body. Strong, sensual vibes were radiating between them, even from across the room, and he was sitting alone. Zara drew in a deep breath. Should she? Why not? She'd always let the guy make the first move, but doing that hadn't gotten her anything but a man who cheated on her. As far as she was concerned, there was no time to play coy. She was a single woman, and thanks to an unfaithful boyfriend, she was no longer in a committed relationship. But then, what about that legs closed, options open rule she'd implemented after her breakup with Maurice 4 months ago? She had kept her legs closed. So why did she view this guy as a viable option? For the first time in her life, she felt like a woman on the prowl, and that man who was sending out all those deep, sexual vibes to her was her intended target. Her legs began moving as she scooted around tables and chairs, making a beeline in his direction. What if he was married? Gay? Or just didn't want to be bothered? But the way he was looking at her could eliminate all 3 possibilities. The handsome man stood as she approached his table. The way his gaze was roaming over her, he was taking in everything about her. From that smile on his face, he liked what he saw. His expression wasn't lecherous by any means. It was warm, yet appraising. Her eyes were just as assessing, and she thought he looked pretty darn good in those jeans and pullover shirt. Her gaze shifted to his hands, specifically the 3rd finger of the left one. He wasn't wearing a ring, and there wasn't an indication one had been there. She figured his age to be 35 or 6.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?